Like roads and the electric grid, investigative journalism is an essential part of civic infrastructure. Because when local news disappears, polluters pollute more and get away with it. Governments become less responsive and more wasteful. Politicians take liberties they'd never risk if someone were watching. People turn inward, pulled into national fights, cut off from what's actually happening in their own backyard. Study after study confirms it. The collapse of local news drives these problems. Since 2005, more than 3,000 U.S. newspapers have closed. In Washington alone, 2/3 of newsroom jobs have disappeared. Entire communities are left in the dark. InvestigateWest exists because that isn't acceptable. We are a nonprofit investigative newsroom with no one to answer to but the public. Since 2009, we've built something the Pacific Northwest didn't have before, a growing network to support accountability journalism, one that produces investigations and then expands them, spreading the capacity for watchdog reporting across the region. We're not only a newsroom, we're a force multiplier. We partner with more than 60 local outlets across Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, newsrooms that couldn't do this work alone, but can carry it to their communities when we work together. Story by story, we're working to reclaim the news deserts across the region. In Idaho's women's prisons, something was very wrong.
We were hearing from women who were incarcerated that they were being sexually harassed and in some cases assaulted, even raped by guards and other prison workers.
Our reporters spent a year documenting what happened. The result was a 5-part series called Guarded by Predators. Within days of publication, the governor ordered a review. The state police launched an investigation. The Attorney General reopened past cases. And in March 2026, the governor signed a new law making it easier to hold abusive guards accountable. The women who spoke to us took a risk. Their courage and our reporting changed law.
None of this would have happened and none of the change would be in my life or the lives of the other women and victims if InvestigateWest hadn't taken the time to listen to me and believe me and to listen to the other women. They fought really hard for us and I feel really proud of InvestigateWest. I felt like I got justice because of them.
In Spokane, a 12-year-old girl died by suicide after she was left unsupervised at a local hospital where she was waiting for psychiatric care. She had come in crisis. She should have been safe. She wasn't. InvestigateWest traced what happened and what the hospital had failed to do. State regulators, who first learned of the tragedy from our reporting, opened an investigation of their own and outlined a series of required reforms. One child's story, told fully and fairly, moved a system that had let a young girl fall through the cracks. In Oregon's Yamhill County, families were drinking water drawn from a river running past an industrial facility, a facility that had been quietly discharging carcinogenic contamination into that water source. State regulators knew, the public did not. InvestigateWest published the story. 11 days later, regulators imposed more than $1 million in fines. 11 days. For decades in Washington state, clergy who learned of child sexual abuse had no legal obligation to report it. In 2022, InvestigateWest exposed how the Jehovah's Witnesses had used that silence as a shield, systematically covering up abuse of children in congregations across the state. In May 2025, the governor signed mandatory clergy reporting into law.
This legislation, I want to acknowledge, is a direct result of incredible investigative reporting by InvestigateWest.
15 new state laws, civil rights lawsuits, police investigations, federal probes, audits, reforms, fines, and tens of millions of dollars in new funding. This is what accountability journalism looks like when it has a home and room to grow. The Pacific Northwest is a big place, and the need is larger than any one newsroom can fill alone. That's why we collaborate. That's why we share. That's why we're building not just stories, but the infrastructure for a healthier, more informed region. We know what's at stake when accountability journalism disappears. We're working every day to make sure it doesn't. Join us